Hi, it's Melissa from Kiwi Banana, and today I want to talk to you about the sport of cockfighting, otherwise known as Sabong. Now, this sport is mostly done in the Philippines, and it's usually when roosters are trained to fight each other to death. And I've even heard stories of people putting instruments on the roosters during the fights, or before the fight, should I say, things like metal blades and things to make it more interesting, as they say. And this sport, as they call it, has possibly been around for about 6,000 years. They make about at least $1 billion off the industry in total, should I say, in the Philippines. And about 30 million roosters die a year from this. So if you've ever been to the Philippines, you will quite often have seen roosters or hear them crow. And you can often see them in people's backyards. They'll be kept with a bit of string around their leg, tied to a stick, sort of like a post that they can stand on. And you may also see them in a farm sort of setting with little huts, and they'll be in rows kept there. Now, I was talking with someone the other day, a tourist, and they were talking about the roosters, and they were complaining about it more from the stance that they found the sound to be quite annoying because they can crow at any time of the day. And it doesn't really matter what time of the day, and once one starts, then the whole community will start. And of course that can be a nuisance, but for me I'm more concerned about the fact that these animals are being bred and then trained and then made to fight each other, all in the name of entertainment for us. And I guess, you know, to the Filipinos, they would probably, most of them would value the tradition over the life of the roosters. And, you know, that is a touchy sort of ground to go into, I guess, and ask people to question their traditions and whether they would still consider them to be an ethical way of life. And, you know, for me, using animals in sport, there could be an issue around consent. Does the animal actually consent to having to be trained in a particular way, having to live in a particular way, having to do certain things during the sport that they may otherwise not normally in a natural habitat. And I guess because we can't verbally communicate with animals in the way that we can with humans, it can make it a bit hard to obviously really understand how the animal feels and whether they're actually wanting to do what you want them to do in the sport. And I guess I would ask you, please, if you do come to the Philippines, to not partake in the sport in any way possible. We don't want to encourage this to continue. I understand that there are many people that are what we may consider as being financially poor, that do make a livelihood off this sport, and to obviously take that away from them straight away could do them a lot of harm as well. So if anyone knows of any sort of projects that is trying to help try and get rid of this sport, but also in a way that's going to still help the people that are relying on it to be able to find in a different way to get finances, obviously, to still be able to live a fulfilling life, but without having to exploit animals.